What a year we've had so far. While we're unable to meet in person for our 2020 East Hardwick Neighborhood Organization annual meeting, we hope you will take the time to read through our written report and spend a moment taking our survey so that we can continue to focus on supporting each other and addressing the issues important to us in East Hardwick.
It's the same old stuff. Same old, think you've had enough. It's the same old, always how it's been. What goes around, it comes around, and here it comes again. Winter up in Hardwick, it's always frigid cold. It's been that way since long before the townhouse got this old. We get through those icy blasts, we actually boast. It's neighbor helping neighbor that keeps us warm as toast.
Welcome to East Hardwick. I'm Dave Gross, and I'm here to discuss some of the very early history of the area. The Lamoille River is sourced through the east in a series of beaver ponds that sit astride a drainage divide. To the east, the Barton River flows eventually to the Connecticut River and then south to the Atlantic. The Lamoille River flows out of those ponds to the west, past us here at East Hardwick, and then over to Lake Champlain, which drains to the north to the St. Lawrence Seaway, and then to the east to the Atlantic. East Hardwick would not be here if not for the Lamoille River. In 1797, Samuel Stevens came and arrived to this area, and he recognized that the Lamoille and the falls below us here could power the grist mills and lumber mills that would basically provide for a village. And in 1869, it was decided that a railroad would be built across from east to west across Vermont. The Lamoille River from Greensboro Bend, just upstream of us, down past East Hardwick to the west, was decided to be the route of a portion of that railroad. This provided efficient transportation and access to world markets for the residents of East Hardwick. It might seem strange that the Lamoille River flows west to Lake Champlain, considering that the Green Mountains stand as a barrier between us and the lake. Well, this is probably best understood that because with geology, like comedy, timing is everything. If we could travel back in time 400 million years with these rocks, we would find ourselves in the southern hemisphere in a tropical sea just offshore of a coastline where muds and limey sands were being deposited. Now, plate tectonics and continental drift would bring this area northward to the equator, about 250 million years ago. It would also have brought about continental collisions with what is now eastern New England and the continent of Africa, creating the mountains around us today. This also would have pushed these sediments deep into the earth and transformed them into rocks known as quartzites, phyllites, and slates. Now, it's important to remember that before these mountains rose up, the ancestral Lamoille was still flowing to the west. And because rivers cut down faster than mountains can rise up, the Lamoille cut through this rising mountain change. And so the Lamoille River has become one of Vermont's ancestral rivers. Then we can look at and say continued erosion over millions and millions of years have lowered these towering green mountains down to probably their present height. And it has also eroded these deep buried rocks up to the surface that we see here today. So, jumping forward to only 2.5 million years ago, Earth entered another ice age, during which a series of ice sheets advanced and retreated across the continents, including North America. The most recent ice advance reached southward to Long Island, New York, and Des Moines, Iowa, about 18,000 years ago. Now, as this ice front melted back northward, it was still flowing southward, and thus it was delivering all the sediment it had eroded onto the bare exposed bedrock that it was leaving behind. Now, when this ice sheet reached northernmost Vermont and in Canada, it blocked Lake Champlain's access to the St. Lawrence Seaway, so it could not drain north. Thus, Lake Champlain had to fill up to a point where it would drain southward, basically through the Hudson River eventually. This high-standing lake was called Lake Winooski. It's known as a glacial lake. And what's interesting is its eastern shoreline reached right up the Lamoille River to this very area. Now, this was very fortunate for us because the sands and silts that were washed into this lake were deposited along its shoreline, and it formed a nice level tableland, which was perfect for siting most of the buildings of East Hardwick behind us up the hill, including my house.
So every day we live the way we want to treat it be. I'll treat you like you treat me, that's A-okay with me. It sounds so very sappy, that's exactly what I want. It's as sweet as maple syrup from the mountains of Vermont. And it's the same old stuff. Same old, you never get enough. It's the same old, always how it's been. What goes around, it comes around, and here